Are we supporting the ANC? Have we been making the government look good? I guess the title of this recording is a little deceiving to say the least. I mean, the government doesn't look good in anything they have done in the past, anything they are doing, and I would hazard a guess and say that they will never look good in anything that they do in the future. So I guess the question I should be asking is whether we are making the government look better than they really are. In my opinion, we are, very much so. Let us start with law enforcement in South Africa. This responsibility should fall squarely on the shoulders of the police and nobody else. We pay the police's salaries via taxes to supply us with a service. That service is to ensure that law and order is applied and maintained in South Africa. Are they performing this task satisfactorily? Not at all. Not by any stretch of the imagination. It has already been publicly stated that the police are in fact not capable of fulfilling their mandate, yet we keep paying them.
That's important for me, adding from both the Secretariat and from the Minister. I still want to repeat the Chapter 12 NPP caption. Due to the collapse of the National Crime Prevention Strategy, the SAPS became an all-purpose agency with an overstretched mandate impossible to fulfill. It's still standing like that in the NDP. So I want to repeat, the SAPS mandate is overstretched. 2, it's impossible to fulfill.
One only has to look at what is happening every day in this country to see that not only are the police incapable of performing their duties, they are to a large extent not willing to do their duties. And then we have the recurring incidences of police members actually being involved in serious crime. Just yesterday, the perpetrators of a cash in transit heist were caught dividing the money between them in a house in Klippoortjie near Springs. A shootout ensued and 4 of them were shot dead. What did we find out afterwards? 2 of them were members of the police's tactical response team. So to take up the slack that the police have created, we, the private citizens, have gone and created a private security industry that is way bigger in active members than the police force and the defense force combined. Not only has this industry been created by us, we have funded it privately too. And even with this huge private security industry, the crime rate is increasing at incredible rates. Can you imagine what the situation would look like if we never had any private security industry in South Africa? So now we are paying the salary of every police member not doing their job, and we are paying the private security force to do the job that the government police force should be doing. My question here is, just how much of the crime prevention stats that the police are taking credit for are actually attributed to the efforts of our own privately funded security companies? In my opinion, when it comes to law enforcement in South Africa, we are definitely making the police look much better than they really are. Not that they ever look good in anything they do anyway. Let us look at infrastructure maintenance. Take roads, for example. The roads in South Africa are in a terrible condition, to say the least. The roads around our suburbs are literally littered in potholes that have cost the average motorist huge amounts of money in damages to their vehicles. We have municipalities that are funded with taxpayers and ratepayers' money, whose job it is, amongst other things obviously, is to keep the roads in good condition. And they are not fulfilling that mandate. Not even close. I've already replaced 2 perfectly good tires on our little car due to hitting potholes. Did we stop paying taxes because we were not getting the services we were paying for? Not at all. We just keep on paying. Another thing we have done is to take that responsibility upon ourselves to repair these potholes. Look at initiatives such as AfriForum. They have teams that do just that, fix potholes all over the place. And where does AfriForum get their money? From us, the private citizens. We donate to them our after-tax money and they supply the services we are paying the municipality for. In my opinion, we are definitely making the municipalities look good or better than they actually are in this regard. The municipalities might not be taking credit for the repairs being done by the volunteers, but they certainly are not making it known that it is in fact volunteers that are doing the work that they are being paid to do because they are too useless to do it themselves. Let's look at other municipal services such as water provision, sewage and refuse removal. Again, we are paying municipalities via taxes and rates to provide us with a service. In many centres, these services have simply disappeared. There is no longer water flowing out of the taps. There is no longer any refuse removal, and the sewage literally runs down the streets in many cities and towns in South Africa these days. Did we stop paying taxes or rates because these basic services were not being supplied? Not at all. We have mostly kept paying these taxes. I say mostly because in a few towns the residents have taken matters into their own hands. Take the town of Reddersburg. The residents of Reddersburg got tired of paying for a service they were not getting and decided to take the municipality to court over it. Take note, they did not run through the streets, burning and destroying everything. They sued the municipality for the right to stop paying for a service that they were not receiving, and the right to provide that service themselves. Today, the residents of Reddersburg no longer pay the municipality for these services. They take care of it themselves. There are a number of similar cases happening around the country right now that I know of. Although the residents are no longer paying the municipality for those services, I would hazard a guess and say that the municipality is still there and they now have an excuse to sit and do nothing all day while the work is being done by willing and competent volunteers. Do you think the municipality of Reddersburg and other towns where this has happened have cut down on their staff? I doubt it very much. If they had, the streets and infrastructure would have been destroyed long ago. So now if someone passes through these towns and notices that the streets are clean, they have no potholes, and there is no refuse or sewage in the streets, who do you think gets the credit for this? You guessed it again, the municipalities get the credit. In all of these instances, the government institutions are getting the credit for the actions of us private citizens. If we were to take away all these privately funded services, where would we be sitting today? The situation in this country would be far, far worse than it is today, if not total chaos and anarchy. I could go on, but I think by now you get the point. We, out of pure desperation and the will to survive, have inadvertently been and still are holding up this government, and in doing so making them look far better than they really are. Unfortunately, we don't like living in sewage running down our streets. We don't like being robbed in our houses every second day. We don't like driving into potholes and damaging our vehicles. So we are forced to do the work that the government is being paid to do, while they, for the most part, take the credit for it. The bottom line is that the government, that being the ANC, is actually performing far worse than what meets the eye, if you look at the country as a whole. So what do we do to make the rest of the world, as well as the population as a whole, see the real picture? In my opinion, firstly, we need to only do the bare minimum in areas where it is not vital. Do whatever you can to make the shortcomings of the ANC visible and public. Obviously, when it comes to our safety, we cannot afford to compromise on anything. This goes for health as well. We cannot tolerate any health threats, such as sewage running in the streets and rotting rubbish lying all over. Where we do repairs to roads, make sure that a sign is put up saying that the road has been repaired by private citizens at their own expense due to the failure of the ANC to provide this service. Those towns who have managed to rid themselves of the ANC should put up huge signs at every entry and exit of the town saying the same. The only way that the public, both local as well as international, is going to see the truth about the total incompetence and corruptness of the ANC is to rub their noses in it constantly until they smell the sewage being shoveled by the ANC. Please remember to like and share this video on as many social media platforms as possible. It's the only way my message gets out there. If you would like to see or hear more of this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and to click on the bell icon to be notified every time I upload new content. If you'd like to make a contribution to my channel and my work, in the description field of this video, I provided ways for both local as well as international viewers to make a contribution. If you'd like to make a crypto contribution, also in the description field, I provided a Bitcoin as well as a Litecoin wallet address. If you'd like to contribute any other crypto, simply send me an email and I will provide you with the relevant wallet address. I have also registered a Zapper account, so for those who so wish, you can pause this video whenever you see the Zapper code and scan it. Any and all contributions are very welcome and very much appreciated. To all those amazing people who do contribute to my channel, I say a huge thank you. You guys and girls are legends. Be safe out there. Until next time.